Welcome everybody to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Jonathon Aslay, and he's a dating and relationship coach for women at understandmennow.com, and I'm so excited to have him here today because he's one of my best guests on the show. So welcome, Jonathon, to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I think you rock.
Well, thanks. Well, so before we jump into our topic today of where are all the good men, and I know all the ladies want to know the answer to that question, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I'm a dating and relationship coach for women.
Mm-hmm.
I primarily specialize in helping women understand men who are over 40. So that's kind of my niche. And I've been on ABC, NBC. I've even been on the Katie Couric show. So
Awesome.
I'm really blessed to be following my passion, helping women understand men. And I call myself the guy spy to the male mind, and I'm a heart protector for women.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump into it. Where are all the good men, Jonathon? Tell us the 5 best places to meet men. I think that's the number one question I get from women all the time.
Where are all the good men? I mean, I just don't know why they're hiding, you know? I mean, they must be somewhere, you know, where women can't find them, and it blows me away. But look, before I jump into the best places, you know, I think what's important to ask yourself is 2 things. How are you being seen by men? Okay? And what I mean to say is, interesting enough, many of the women I coach are entrepreneur women who work from home.
Right.
Okay, so they have home offices, and their daily life is centered from their home. So, and they rarely ever go out. So what's their chances of meeting a single eligible guy? It might look like something like this. It's a Friday night, you know, that you hear the window break, a burglar breaks into your house, he's stealing your TV, and he looks at you and says, wow, you're kind of cute. You want to go on a date? You know? I mean, let's be real. You've got to put yourself out there to be seen. And recognizing that I know you're a fantastic woman, but we need to be kind of enticed to, you know, make our move to ask you out, you know? So I think what's important is to put yourself out there. Now, start with places that you love, okay? What do you love in your life? Because when you're passionate about what you do and you meet a man who does the same thing, you're both on the, you know, you're starting off on a great foot. For example, I knew a woman who I coached who was a marathon runner, and she joined a group of marathon runners, right? Well, guess what? She was the only woman in a group of about 20 guys, right? So she had her pick. And
that's great.
I know, and she met her guy, you know, doing marathon running, or I'm sorry, it wasn't marathon running, it was triathlete. So I
oh my God.
Triathlon, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Exactly. So, but she was one out of 20, you know, she was the only woman out of 20 guys. She met her guy, they fell in love, and they got married 3 years later. She was doing what she loved, okay? So, and I'm not saying go out and join a triathlete group if you don't love it. And believe me, that's going to be a lot of hard work.
Right.
But find the things you love. Now, if the things you love is centered around being with a lot of women, you're going to have a hard time, right? So what are some of the things men love to do? Let's think about that. Men love cars, okay? So car shows might be a place to go to meet men. Or even the car wash, believe it or not. Because men love cars, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to go wash their car on a Saturday morning.
Well,
you know, that's
and I love that tip because, and it's funny, that's one tip I haven't thought of because, but I think it's great because even if you take it to a car wash where they do it for you, he's got to wait for his car and so do you. So that's the time to talk to him, right?
Oh, exactly. Now, because normally you're waiting 20 minutes, you know, if you go to a typical car wash and you drop your car off and you're waiting for it to, you know, guys go through the machine and whatnot, you're going to have a chance to be around a lot of men on a Saturday morning. So it's a great place to go. Another thing, what do men love? Men love golf.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, huge. I love golf, you know, and what happens is when I go hit a bucket of balls or I go take lessons or whatever, and what's interesting, there'll be 50 men, and I always spot the one woman who's walking up, you know, hitting, you know, with her clubs, and that kind of catches my eye.
Exactly.
So Golf is another great place.
Well, and I tell women that that's actually one of my tips too that I give my female members is go to the driving range. You don't have to be great, and that's a good way to open the door and ask the guy to help you with your swing, right?
Exactly. You just nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm feeding you the plays here. So
exactly. Ladies, that's one other tip I want to bring up is you can go to all these places, but you have to open the door to men. You can't wait for men to approach you because it's terrifying to approach women because you never know if you're going to get rejected. So open the door, ask them a question, ask them for help.
And even start with a compliment. Like you could go to them and say, wow, I really love your golf swing. Can you give me some pointers? That guy will be melting because you gave him a compliment, okay? Or it could be, God, I love your golf shirt. Where did you get it? You know, that type of thing. So men love compliments, and I guarantee you we melt, and that's when we begin to kind of surrender, you know? So
it's true.
A couple other good places. I think actually, you know, high-end business seminars are a great place to meet men, you know, if you happen to be in that business world or whatnot, or even high-end hotels are a great place to meet men. Exactly. I think one of the most amazing places to meet single eligible men is church. You know, if you're a churchgoer, I'm sure many of the churches have singles events and that sort of thing. That's a great place to meet men.
And I want to add something to that too, because I've had, that's one of the tips I give too, and some of my female members will say, well, there's not a lot of singles. Well, then go to another church. Maybe that's not the right church for you. If it's all families, there are other churches or synagogues, whatever your religion is. You can go to a different place that maybe has more singles and more people around your age. So that's very, very important to look out for.
Yeah, there's even non-denominational churches that you can go to. Exactly. And I mean, but do it if it's something that's interests you. I'm not suggesting go out there just under the premise of meeting men. Right. I'm saying that's something that your heart desires. You're going to have, you know, a stronger possibility of meeting single eligible men at one of these events than you would, you know, at another event. One of the things I'm a huge proponent of is online dating. So without a doubt, you know, as a dating coach, I absolutely help women set up their profiles, get their pictures taken, and actually help them interact with men because I think online dating is one of the best venues to meet men. And we won't just call it online dating, we'll call it online connection because I met my sweetheart through Facebook. So it's, you know, it doesn't have to be a dating site, it also can be a social media site like Facebook. And quite frankly, I want to end on this one. I'm going to end on Facebook and saying that is a great place to meet new people, make new friends. And all you have to do is go within your own social circle, look at your friends, see who their friends are, and see someone who interests you and start to develop a dialogue just through the threads and the wall posts. That's how I met my sweetheart, and I'm a huge proponent of connecting through social media because you start off under the basic premise of friends. And those are the most healthy, happy relationships in the long run, the ones that start off as friends.
I think that's a great point. And I actually know a couple people that have met over, believe it or not, Twitter.
Okay, Twitter.
It's whatever social media site, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Pick your site, but use what, like Jonathan said, what you feel most comfortable with. I think that's important. So great, Jonathan. These have been some awesome tips. So tell our audience how they can find you.
Okay, you can reach me at understandmennow.com, understandmennow.com. And if you join my email community, I'm going to give you a ton of free gifts, including 35 great places to meet men when you join my email community. And you can find me on Twitter and Facebook so we can become friends.
Awesome. But he's taken, ladies, so don't try and pick him up on Facebook. He already has a girlfriend. So, well, thanks, Jonathan, for being on the show. If you want to get more secrets on how to meet men, then check out my new ebook, The Secrets on How and Where to Meet Men. I'm going to tell you why men don't approach you when you're out, how to get more men to approach you, and I'm going to also tell you the 65 best places to meet men. You can click right here on the video to pick up your copy, and if you're listening on the podcast, you could go to singleandstilettos.com and click in the menu bar on products.